play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Warhammer 40k Battle Reports!
Hey there folks, welcome to the pre-game show. We're going to go over the armies in depth and show you exactly what we're bringing. Starting off looking at the two that are leading my battalion. It is my favorite two little HQs here because my librarians always just kill themselves. We've got a Watchmaster who's going to be my Warlord. He's going to run the new Warlord trait, which is Bane of Monstrosity, so he real-filled wound rolls when attacking vehicles or monsters. Never mind, that's no, you didn't bring a single vehicle or monster, did you, Luca?
Nope.
Yeah, well, looks like he's going to ignore wounds on a 6. I don't love that Warlord trait, so don't mind the little tongue-in-cheek. It's not terrible. Next to him, though, I'm running my Watch Captain. Thunderhammer Storm Shield Jump Pack, the standard loadout. He will be the one carrying the relic, which will be the Beacon Angelus. So the way that works is once per battle at the end of any of the movement phases, I can use the beacon to teleport a unit to my position. I pick a Deathwatch infantry or biker unit on the battlefield, and then I remove the unit, set it up within 6 of the bear and more than 9 away from enemy models. So that's kind of cool. Fast attack choice for the Deathwatch is I've got 3 Deathwatch bikers. They do have a teleport homer in the squad, which I will have to drop at the beginning of the game, and then the Sarge has a power sword. First kill team is just 5 veterans. Sarge has a power sword and a stalker pattern bolter, and everybody else just has the stalker pattern bolters. Next squad down the line, we got Sarge with a power sword and bolter. We've got a black shield with power sword and bolter. 2 vets with bolters and chainsword. I've got 3 vets behind them with frag cannons, and then I've also got a Vanguard vet with twin lightning claws. Last squad, similar setup. I've got a Sarge with a power sword and a bolter, a black shield with a power sword and shotgun, 2 vets with shotguns, and then 3 vets with frag cannons, a Vanguard vet with twin lightning claws, and then a Terminator with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Over to the Air Wing detachment, 2 identical Corvus Black Stars running the missiles, the Auspex array, and the twin assault cannons. And then the big mean Fire Raptor. I really am considering getting one of these for the Deathwatch. I think that might be. I've got some Hellblasters on the way. I got to get a couple of vets with Bolter and Storm Shield, but I think the next big purchase will be a Fire Raptor, but that might take forever for me to get around to. So I'm going to try one out today, though, and see how it goes. It is running the heavy bolters as well as the missile launchers. And that is 2,000 points worth of Deathwatch.
This is the list I'm bringing today, guys. Very similar to what I usually bring. You see the Immortals and the Warriors. I do like the battalion. I like the core, or yeah, the troops that come with this army a lot. And up front I got the Overlord. I'm not bringing the Catacomb Command Barge this time, but I am bringing the double Cryptek, or the one being a named Cryptek. I'm bringing Illuminor a lot now, just because I do like the stat increase. And I was getting bored of Orkin, and I was kind of getting bored of not bringing something with a cool new mechanic. So, you know, just double Cryptek I find boring. Starting out with these guys, though, the Overlord here is going to have the Relic, the Veil of Darkness, which will allow me to bring whatever he's nearby at the time. It could be to steal an objective late game, to save myself from being tabled, maybe. Like at this point, I am a little worried to fight the Deathwatch. I have a lot of shots, so I'm a little worried about being tabled in this game. After grabbing a bunch of objectives, maybe I'll just go run and hide. The Cryptek, besides just to give an invulnerable save with the Chronometron to whatever unit he's with, it'll probably be. He'll be running around with Illuminor, like wherever Illuminor goes, the Cryptek will go the opposite way. They're going to play basketball, or they're going to do something. I like to imagine referees in a game, just helping whoever they need to. And then Illuminor, of course, is going to be running from squad to squad, giving augments while shooting off his Eldritch Lance at a flyer every turn. Maybe he'll hit, maybe he probably won't hit. He never hits, even when he's not with the -1 to hit. Squad of 20 Necron Warriors, like the bread and butter of any Necron army. I didn't want to bring 2 or 3 because, I don't know, I just want to bring more Immortals. So I just brought 20 Necron Warriors this time. I just changed it up ever so slightly. I guess I didn't need to run a battalion. I could have just foregone all troop choices. But objective secured is nice, and again, pretty much the backbone of the army. Squad of 10 Immortals. These ones have the Tesla carbine. I like to bring, if I'm going to bring 2 squads of Immortals, I want to bring one of each, depending on, well, if it doesn't matter what I'm facing, I have to bring a Tesla carbine and a Gauss blaster unit. This time, the Tesla might not be as useful because I'm against Space Marines and a lot of flyers. The Tesla tends to be more useful against horde armies like Orcs or Guard. Even Eldar, it helps a lot against anything with like a 4-up or less armor save. The 3-up tends to spike pretty high and ignore a lot of the damage from the Tesla. But the +1 hit from the Overlord does complement these guys very well. Here's the squad with the Gauss Blasters. Now these guys will do better this game because they are strength 5, they're -2, so they'll be wounding the bikes on 4s and taking their save down to a 5-up. Which is ideally what I'd like to do. So 2 squads of Immortals with Gauss Blasters would be ideal, but I brought one of each. I'm not going to complain too much about it. Who knows, maybe the Tesla will just outdo these guys all around. You never know, like Josh could just fail 3-up saves. I have an Outrider here in the back. I figured I wanted to bring the Destroyers and the Tomb Blades for sure, and I figured I could just throw in the Cairn Wraiths, not the Cairn Wraiths, I could bring in the Canoptic Wraiths. Just to fill out an extra, just give myself an extra command point. Because I do find myself using command points a lot more now that I have access to those, well, just the 2 stratagems for now, but I find myself using them quite a bit. These are the Destroyers for this Outrider. They're heavy hitting, they're fast, they ignore moving and firing their heavy weapons. Strength 5, -3 to their armor save, so it negates most armor saves down to nothing, unless you're a Terminator, or if you have a Storm Shield, which there are a few I'm facing against. Ideally, I might use these guys against the flyers for a while because they get to reroll once for hitting and wounding if they're within 6 inches of the Destroyer Lord, which they will be. Tomb Blades with all the upgrades, Shadow Loom instead of the Nebular Scope because ignoring cover is not nearly as big in this edition as it was in 7th edition. Almost like no effect at all. They're armed with the, well, they have twin Gauss Blasters, so they have the Immortal Weapon, Strength 5, AP -2, but there's 2 of them on each gun, or each bike. They have 2 wounds now, T5, 5-up invulnerable save, and gave them the 3-up armor save with reanimation protocols, so they are quite durable. 6 Canoptic Wraiths. Now these guys are very weak to mortal wounds. Luckily this game I won't be facing mortal wounds of any sort, I don't believe.
I don't think I have any way to generate it, yeah.
Alright, well then they'll be fine. They have their 3-up invulnerable save, very durable, 3 wounds each, T5, and with the new stratagem, they can reanimate if I so choose to spend 2 command points. Finally, kind of glazed over them, the Destroyer Lord for this unit, or for this whole army, is actually my Warlord. He's got the Enduring Will Warlord trait, so he will subtract all damage he takes by 1 to a minimum of 1. He doesn't have the Phylactery. I was thinking about giving it to him. I didn't have the points in the end. It turns out the Destroyers are very expensive. He's got a War Scythe, and he's just going to be hugging the Destroyers all game. And if anything gets in combat with him, he'll be there to help him out. He is pretty tough. Hitting on 2s, you're rolling... Oh, I think he only rolls once for shooting. But he's pretty tough, and dishes out a lot of damage in combat.